Hello everyone. Quick little live here. Bangladesh versus New Zealand, or New Zealand versus Bangladesh, however you'd like to say it. First ODI, and I think I missed a bit of action here, haven't I? Because we're already 2 wickets down Bangladesh, but they're looking, well, Das is 19 off 30. Mushrika Rahim is looking very, very tentative. He's 424. He's struggling big time. He is. He's struggling he's struggling a lot, let's be honest. He is struggling a lot. So interesting to see if he can kind of pick up a little bit of momentum and actually kind of find his feet, because at the moment he is struggling a huge amount, that's for sure. An absolute huge amount. Let's see, check out the teams actually. Let's have a look while I'm watching. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's a quick single, nearly a run-out opportunity there. Jameson is went for 5 off his first over, so not as wisely as you might expect, but he's looking all right. I'm interested to see how he does in the ODI series, Jameson, because it's a good segue into the T20 stuff, which he seems to be pretty inexperienced in, so has struggled in at times. So this is good. This is very good. Oh, Devon Conway, my boy. Yes, come on. Devon Conway's at 3. Oh, I'm so gutted that New Zealand are not batting first. Because if they were, I'd be able to see him bat. But, I mean, it's already nearly 11 p.m. here. I'm not going to stay up until whatever it is, 5 p.m., 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. just to watch him bowl with 2 wickets as well. Trapping. Hold on. I thought Timmy McBall was unavailable because of personal reasons, hey? So that was wrong then. That was bizarre. Well, yeah, well, it didn't really make much of a difference in this game. I mean, having a captain's useful, but the fact that he's gone for, 13 off 17, he actually looked pretty good whilst he was in. Sumya Saka just got cleaned up for a duck. But I'm so happy that Devon Conway is playing. Will Young as well. So Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson, I think, are being rested. So just to go through the teams, if you don't know, Martin Guptill, Henry Nichols, Devon Conway, Will Young, Tom Latham, Jimmy Neesham, Daryl Mitchell, Mitchell Santner, Carl Jameson, Matt Henry, and Trent Bolt. Bangladesh have gone with Tamim Iqbal. As I said, a surprise is in there because I thought he wasn't going to be able to play, but I don't know. Clearly, those personal issues have cleared up, or maybe they never existed. Maybe it was just a load of rubbish. I don't know. Anyway, Tamim Iqbal, Lytton Das, who's still in, Sumya Saka, Mushrika Rahim at 4, Mohammed Mitten, Mahmudullah, really good finisher by the way, Mehdi Hassan, who's off spinner, and they've got 2 players with pretty much exactly identical names, but the only difference is 1 letter. So we've got Mehdi Hassan, who's with an E after the M, and Mahdi. I'm going to really overpronounce his name, but to make sure that it sounds different, Mahdi Hassan, who has an A after the M, but that's the only difference. We've got Taskin Ahmed, Hassan Mahmoud, and Mustafiz Rahman. So the Fizz, to put it bluntly, really. The Fizz. Let me know if you think Bangladesh have got any chance in this, because, I mean, New Zealand are strong favourites for sure. The pitch doesn't look super green. Actually looks a pretty good batting track, to be fair, from what I can see, but I mean, I haven't watched the first few overs. I don't know what the ball was doing, but I'm assuming Trent Bolt was getting into hoop. And I think I actually saw a graphic with the difference. He got one straight in, I think, to Tamim Iqbal and trapped him LBW. Very, very wily bowler. Very, very good bowler, Trent Bolt, isn't he? Absolutely cracking player. And knows what he's doing. That's for sure. He's such a good player. Guys, as well, for anyone that is watching or listening, as you can probably tell, this is a very, very kind of spur of the moment, spontaneous stream. I'll probably be streaming for about half an hour. So do tune in, and also fire away with any questions or comments. Doesn't have to be about this game. It can be about anything to do with cricket. I'm happy to answer because it's just nice to have some people on chatting cricket, to be honest with you. That's what everyone wants, isn't it? Come on. Everyone wants to just talk a bit of cricket. That's what we all want. We all want everyone to come on and talk a bit of cricket. 41 for 2. Let me update the scoreboard. 42 for 2 even. Off 13.1 overs, and the jokester that is Jimmy Neesham. Isn't he a joker, isn't he? Especially on Twitter and all social media. Like that to make a guy laugh, that's for sure. He's on, which is cool. Enjoying that. Yeah, really good. Really good from him. Oh, hold on. It's a wicket. Yes, it is. Jimmy Neesham on his second ball picks up a wicket. And, it's Lytton Das. That's a big wicket. He loops it, trying to just flick it into the leg side. And Jimmy Neesham bowls this really tight line on kind of middle leg. It's not quite. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's back of a length, actually. And it's actually on off stump. And Lytton Das, it's not full enough to flick like that, and it's not leg side enough to flick like that either. So he completely misjudged that, and it's just looped straight to mid wicket. Lytton Das has to go. It's 42 for 3, and Bangladesh are reeling here. They're looking very, very well. They're looking very unsteady, that's for sure. And they're going to be struggling for. I mean, big time. They're going to be struggling. Let's just say that, but. Very good start from Jimmy Neesham. I mean, he does seem to have a bit of a magical golden arm, doesn't he, at times? So that's good for. It's very good even for New Zealand. I mean, he's a very good all-rounder, Jimmy Neesham. Quite underrated, I would say, as well. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's a very good player. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. Is Jimmy Neesham? I think he's solid. I think solid is kind of doing him a injustice. Actually, I think he's one of the best all-rounders around. One of them. I'm not saying he is the best, but he's definitely one of the best. That's for sure. He's definitely down with some of the best. Just having a look at the wicket again. I mean, as I said, it's a good one. It's a very, very good one. Yeah, very, very good wicket from the man that is Jimmy Neesham. I'm being very impressed, actually, just in general with some of the fantastic stuff that New Zealand have been doing. But also, I think it has to be said that you look at that team and they just look very, very good. I mean, they're just so strong. They really are. They're super strong, are New Zealand. And the fact that they can just bring in people like Devon Conway and who else? Will Young, right? Just out of nowhere, just to me shows how ridiculously strong this team is. I mean, they are an absolute beast of a team on New Zealand, and they are going to be looking for sure to. I mean, they're one of the favourites on T20 World Cup, which of course is a different format, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go on to win that. Let's be honest. They are a gun side. They are a gun side. Right. Jimmy Neesham is just really cleaning up in a good way here for New Zealand, just putting pressure on the new batsman in Mitten. And it's interesting. I heard him on an interview with the Grade Cricketer, and he's got a very dry sense of humour, does Jimmy Neesham. It's pretty dry. I think it's an acquired taste, actually, for some. I think he's a lot funnier on Twitter than he is in person, no offense to him. But no, he seems like a really cool guy, pretty laid back, and knows what he's doing, I think, in the sense that he knows his game, he's comfortable with his game, and a lot of people are saying, oh, is he no, I think he's playing on the IPL and he's like back up for Kieran Pollard, and he's like, oh, that's not really such a bad position to be in, is it? Being back up to probably one of the best T20 players around. So, I mean, that's not terrible. Well, here you go. Yeah, good stuff though. Jimmy Neesham looks good. The pitch does look like it's got a bit of bounce, as most New Zealand pitches do. They're bouncy. They've got that carry that you'd expect from a Kiwi pitch, for sure. So far, it's pretty much acting as you'd expect, which is good for New Zealand, because I think Bangladesh are struggling with it at the moment. They're struggling big time from it. Let me know what you guys think about. I mean, Bangladesh. Some people are saying, don't count them out in this series, but just have a feeling that New Zealand are so strong, and they're just too strong almost. They're way too strong in the current form, and they've made the last 2 World Cups, which I think just says it all, doesn't it? They made the last 2 World Cups have New Zealand, the ODI World Cups, and oh, hold on, that's a fantastic flick from Mushfiqur Rahim. Jameson nearly up to 140 Ks, but strays onto Mushfiqur Rahim's pads, and he flicks it, finds one of the bat, and splits square leg and mid wicket, but only gets 2. Doesn't quite time it well enough to get a boundary there. I'll tell you what, New Zealand looks beautiful as well. New Zealand, Australia, I mean, just the scenery and the greenery, if you want to call it that, looks really cool. Oh, that's an absolute peach from Jameson. Gets the in-swinger. I'll tell you what, he's getting a lot of movement for. This is a 14-year-old white ball. So either it's him or let's have a look. All the conditions. Let's have a look. Oh, mate, that's a big in-swinger. That's a very, very big in-swinger. So that's a surprise that he's got it to move that much. Makes me think that this pitch, the condition, and also the ball as well, maybe. The white ball, it doesn't usually move this much after 14 overs. Have a look. This time he goes for the in-swinger again, this time a lot fuller. And Mushfiqur Rahim drives that. It beats the guy, the man even, at mid-off. And they'll run, I think, 2. Mitchell Santner getting to the outfield. It looks like it's been raining quite a bit. It looks quite lush. So either the grass is long or it's rained quite a bit and it's just sticking in the surface. The ball, the outfield is not quick whatsoever. Because I think those last 2 shots from Mushfiqur Rahim, they timed pretty well through the gaps. In a lot of instances, I think they would have been boundaries, but here, no boundary for him, unfortunately. Very, very good stuff, though, from Carl Jameson. He's just looking to get wickets, looking to be aggressive, and I think he's just always making the batsman play, which is key, isn't it? I mean, it really is. It's just key at times. People forget to do that sometimes. They think, I've just got to contain. I've got to contain. Which, yeah, of course you have to. You have to contain. But you need to be looking to get wickets, especially in the white ball format where, you can have teams motor towards the end. You have teams motor and they have those hitters towards the end of the game where if you haven't, if they've got wickets in hand, they will just swing hell for leather and they've got the ability to do so. So I think containing is all well and good, but you need to have that aggressive mentality and really want to bowl a team out, because if not, you could easily be chasing 350 in an ODI nowadays. So who knows? In these kind of conditions in New Zealand, I think New Zealand will be looking, especially with the predicament that Bangladesh are in, they'll be looking to kind of restrict these guys to a pretty miserly total, I'd assume. Let's see if they can do it. I'd be pretty surprised if Bangladesh get more than 250 here, to be honest with you. End of the over, very good over from Carl Jameson, only 4 from it. Looking pretty dangerous as well. Almost bowling. The balls, he's getting the ball to talk almost as if it's a red ball in Test cricket, which to me is pretty good. He's getting that big in swinger, No away swinger though, kind of see as much seam off the movement. Sorry, as much movement off the seam even as you might expect from a test match. But he got that ball to kind of shape in quite nicely, that in swinger. So he's doing a fantastic job right now. He's such a good talent, isn't he? I mean, incredible talent is Carl Jamieson. Just a really, really good all-round player. I want to see more of him with the bat as well because I think he's a very underrated batsman. I think I heard that, was it him? I think it was actually Wayne Mulder for South Africa. Started off more as a batsman, but now. So Stark says, hey Fazan, missed your yesterday's watch along. No problem. We're doing one tomorrow, Satak, as well. We'll be doing one around about 3:30 UK GMT time. So it'll probably be either the chase for the India-England 5th T20, or it'll be just before, so I'll catch some of the first innings and then also the chase. And so do keep an eye out for it. I've already set up the stream, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see. Basically, so Tark, if you type in quality shot, one word into YouTube, it should be there. Click set a reminder, and it'll pop up on your phone when I think it's 30 minutes beforehand for the stream. So yeah, I think 3:30 in Indian time, 9 o'clock, right? Yeah. So I says, yes, I'll be there tomorrow. You better be. You better be. No, I'm joking. So by the way, I had, if you haven't checked it out, I did an interview with a West Indian cricketer, Hayden Walsh Jr. It's on the channel. Release it today. Leg spinner. He was also the MVP for the CPL, Caribbean Premier League, in 2019, winning the tournament and also taking the most wickets for Barbados Tridents. So he talked to me about his experience so far with the West Indies. He played against India and Sri Lanka away from home. So you might know. You might know Satak. You should know him. Especially if you watch the CPL as well, you would know him. And then in addition to that, he also talked to me about his journey and all the usual stuff. Also, how he thinks like the West Indies and they should be challenging and winning the World Cup, the T20 World Cup. That's the plan anyway, and he wants to be an integral part of it. And I asked him about the universe boss, mate, Chris Gale himself, and so I asked him about him. And also touched upon Kieran Pollard and stuff. So, yeah. So Tark says, bro, I always set a reminder for your video. That's very kind of you. I like that. I like that a lot. Appreciate it, Satak. So Tark says, I thought you did a video with Brathwaite. No, it's with Hayden Walsh Jr., leg spinner for West Indies. So he was supposed to be in the Bangladesh squad. And he probably would have been in the Sri Lanka squad as well. But he was recovering from COVID because he got COVID just before the Bangladesh series. He was picked for it and then couldn't go because of it. He said he's just recovered now. Now he's kind of working back towards it. And then West Indies have got, I think, 15 T20s before the T20 World Cup in addition to the CPL. So we'll be seeing quite a lot of him again. Really, really go and check him out actually on YouTube. Highlights. He's a good player. I mean, he was the MVP in 29 CPL. So he's a good spinner. I think they need a leg spinner as well, so that's why he's been picked and he's got ability. So he's working on a few things. Talk to me about googly grips as well, and how he's kind of bounced off Sandeep Lamachani, and also his like idols growing up. So all the leg spinners that he's kind of learned from or talked about, and he touched upon Shea Hope and all sorts of. I mean, he's just a really good guy actually. So Stark says, West Indies are going to be unpredictable in the World Cup. Yeah, it's going to be hard to predict them. I think they're one of the wild cards, I think, aren't they? You never count them out in the T20 competition, the West Indies, for sure. I was thinking about this earlier, Satak, and let me know what you think. I was thinking that Afghanistan might surprise a few people and go quite deep in this World Cup. I know it would be surprising. I know it would be. But given the spinners they have, although Mujib looks like a bit of his mystery's gone potentially, but if you can get that mojo back, they've got him. They've also got Rashid Khan, and they've also got Nabi. They've also got Qais Ahmed, who's quite good. He's good as well, but he doesn't even get into the squad. and their batting's been pretty good against Zimbabwe, but I think their bowling can hang with most people. The batting, I don't think, can necessarily hang with most teams. That's the only thing I would say. But we'll see. It looks pretty good. Until they play against a more impressive team than Zimbabwe, I think it'll be hard to decide. But I kind of want them to do well as well. It would be amazing to see them like make the semis of the World Cup, the T20 World Cup. Obviously, I don't think they'll be able to make the semis of the ODI World Cup, but or the T20 World Cup. Who knows? As Tatat says, yes, I'll check it out. Thank you very much, Tatat. Yeah, do check it out. Let me know what you think as well, and guys as well. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to say the usual stuff. Please do like the video; it really does help. And of course, subscribe. I think everyone has. Tatat definitely has. I mean, he sets reminders for my videos, so I really appreciate that. Very loyal guy. He is a legend. And no kohli Tatat for quite a long time, and I don't think it looks like he's in pretty good nick. Although, hold on. No, he didn't get out for a duck last match. Rashid bowled well, but he didn't get him out for a duck. Oh, that's a big inside edge from Mitten, and just running down to fine leg. Jameson, he's an interesting one, man. He's an interesting one. So Stark says, I believe Afghanistan are going to be one of the best teams 20 years down the line. I think Afghanistan in T20s will be, I reckon. And that's quite a good shout. If you think about how much they progressed in the short amount of time, is unbelievable considering, number one, the lack of money and resources they have. Number two, they can't play in their own country. And number three, right, that their country is war-torn. I mean, it's just an incredible story. It's one of the best stories in sport. I support Pakistan, obviously, but if Pakistan played Afghanistan, say, in the T20 World Cup final, which probably would never happen, that scenario, but if that did happen later this year, and Afghanistan won, yeah, I would be a bit disappointed that Pakistan didn't win. But you know what? I would be like, this is unbelievable. Like one of the biggest victories and surprise and like good feel good stories in sport. Like genuinely, probably shed a tear to be honest with you, just because man, people don't realize how tough those Afghanistan players have had it. Man, it's not easy. So I'm happy that they're getting like big contracts. I mean, this is where where franchise cricket, I guess, is good because it gives opportunities to players from, for example, somewhere like Afghanistan. But yeah. So starters, they don't have home advantage. Exactly what you said. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, they would to the UAE, which is pretty much suits their bowling attack. But I think it could be very different if they played at home. And yeah, anyway, I just think it's just an incredible story. It really is. Jameson running in, and Jameson's an interesting one because he's not going to bowl consistently 140 Ks. He'll kind of bowl mid 130s, but because of his height and the amount of bounce he gets, especially in the New Zealand pitches, he can afford to bowl a good to full length, and it will still pop up as if it's a shorter ball or a kind of a back of a length, and he will the batsman ends up having to play off the back foot, or they go forward because they're expecting, like most players or bowlers when they bowl in that area, you go forward to it. They go forward and they realize, oh damn, okay, crap, okay, no, what am I doing? I need to suddenly be on my tiptoes and go up high like this, which just makes him so dangerous, and that's why he gets those kind of. That's why he gets a lot of batsmen. So he surprised a lot of batsmen, and that's why he gets those deliveries on wickets, even where it pops off the glove and it just loops up into the air, or off the bat handle when he surprises the batsman. He doesn't actually utilize the bouncer that much, but when he does, the very few times he does, he normally gets wickets from it, and it's a good surprise delivery because he doesn't really need to utilize it too much because he can still have that menace, considering how tall he is from that kind of good fuller length, which is crazy, right, to say. Tatat says their team have so much politics in the team management, or some. Yeah. But that happens, right, Tatat, because Afghanistan, in the slightly poorer countries, like you always have that because money talks, and you'll have. Although I think there's politics in every single team. The only team, I don't think there's a single team. I think the only team maybe that doesn't is a team like New Zealand. where everyone seems to just be so dandy and nice, to be honest with you. South Africa, there's definitely politics. England, is there lots of politics? I think England is more masked, but there's definitely politics there. Australia, Justin Langer seems to have. Hold on while I look at the wickets. Trent Bolt trapping Tini Iqbal, which, by the way, I thought Tini Iqbal was supposed to be. He wasn't supposed to be available, but he is. And Sumya Saka, that was a really poor way to get out on a duck. He went to go pull that and completely mistimed it straight to cover. And Lytton Darce's wicket was very, very soft from Jimmy Neesham, just trying to really flick it at a height, delivery that was back of a length on off stump. So really, really poor. But yeah. So Zark says, I don't know if you know this, but there was a guy from Afghanistan who was sent back from the World Cup in the name of injury. In reality, he was sent because of some BS political reason. Yeah, I've heard about that. It was their captain, wasn't it? And also there was a whole hoo-ha about, because the captain, the original captain, I think it was Gulabdin or whoever it was. Basically, they relinquished the captaincy from him, gave it to Rashid Khan, and Rashid Khan was like, I'll take it, but I kind of want him to be captain still because he's done a good job. Then eventually Asghar Afghan got it after, I think, which is probably a good shout. But yeah, there's a lot of politics involved, unfortunately. But it is what it is, man. I'm just happy the kind of talent they've got on show, and hopefully they sort out the management. But hopefully a lot of teams sort out the management. Pakistan, India, I'm telling you, there's a lot of politics involved in both those teams. There's loads. It's sad as well because it's just sad because I think it does affect the team morale, and also the makeup of a team and the consistency that you'd see, especially players not getting big runs, not being picked on form, favoritism, nepotism. It's difficult because I feel like even if you have so-called unbiased selectors and coaches, etc., there'll always be that kind of subconscious bias, right? And the subconscious bias will end up always come into play at some point. Anyway, Jimmy Shimon as I can't wait to see. Is it Mark Chapman is in the side, isn't he? Hold on, Mark Chapman isn't in the side. That's Will Young, I think. I'm pretty sure he's not, unless. Yeah, he's not. That's Will Young. Will Young wearing Mark Chapman's. Is wearing his jumper. I was saying to Taki, Devon Conway is my boy. I've got a few boys. Wanindu Hasaranga is definitely one. Devon Conway was the OG, to be fair, of the channel, because he was one that I originally said was my boy when he played against West Indies and just looked like an absolute beast. In the T20s. But yeah, Wanindu Hasaranga. That's it so far. There will be more people added to the list, but so far it's Devon Conway, Wanindu Hasaranga. It'll mainly be people who have broken onto the scene or pretty new, and I just re-rate. That's, I think, what classifies as being one of the boys. But people like whatever Bob Ross and Virat Kohli, blah blah, they're not going to. So says I want to see Carl Ball. He's going to be vital for the World Cup for the Kiwis. I've not seen him play until now. We will see him play for RCB for the first time. So Tarka, I hate to break the news to you. He's not a very good T20 bowler. If you haven't seen him bowl, go and have a look. As it say, hold on. Before we go on to this, Neesham was just bowled. Was that no ball? Yeah, it is. It's a no ball. It's a free hit. So let's watch this free hit, and then sort of I'm going to get to this because I've gone over this comment quite a few times and or talked about this topic. And to me, it was a very, very. I mean, again, I don't follow the IPL, but I didn't watch it, but I do follow what's going on, and obviously, I know that he was bought for a crazy amount. Hold on. Oh, that's a cracking shot from Mushfiqur Rahim, and he makes Neesham pay for that free hit. He tries to go Yorker, ends up being kind of just a little bit shorter than he imagined. Let's have a look. Yeah, he goes back into the crease. Very clever batting. He makes the Yorker into almost a half volley and just squeezes that away. That's a really innovative shot from Mushfiqur Rahim. And a split grip as well. It's quite interesting. Just like Duplessis. Very, very interesting. Mushfiqur Rahim is an intelligent player. Jimmy Neesham, let's see if he can respond. Yeah, he can. Really good bowling. Back with him. Okay, so talk. Carl Jamieson. I'll give you the rundown of my opinion on it. Carl Jamieson is a fantastically talented player. Still very green, still very new to the international scene. Where's he made his name? In the test arena, where he's got an average of about 15. Something about bowling-wise I'm talking about. And even with the bat, he's looked pretty good for New Zealand. Averages like 40-odd, right? He averages 40-odd, I think, on the bat, Jimmy Neesham. With the ball, one of the best bowlers on current form in Test cricket. Unbelievable, seriously unbelievable in Test cricket. Almost unplayable, especially in New Zealand. We'll see how he does at Lords, for example, against India. He'll be pretty key. But anyway, fantastic Test player, fantastic start to his Test career. ODIs, he's done pretty well. Again, though, hasn't set the world alight as he did or has in Test cricket so far. But he's a work in progress there. Now, T20, Sotak. Now, you can check out his stats. In fact, if you want, I can do it for you. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he is pretty poor so far anyway. And again, he will become a very good T20 bowler and T20 player, I think, just a T20 all-rounder. But so far, he has been pretty poor. He is, let's have a look. 8 matches, right? Only 4 wickets. His economy is nearly 10, right? His economy is nearly 10. Average of 70, yeah. And with the bat is done okay. Average of 20. So yeah, so he's just going to be, again, I think he will turn into a very good player. But the amount of money he went for was just incredibly crazy. In addition to that, he hasn't done it on the international stage yet, which makes me think this is a big risk by RCB. And in addition to that, I wouldn't be surprised if he flops, to be honest with you. I think what might happen is he might have half a season or 3/4 of a season where he doesn't perform particularly well. But if they stick with him, he'll come good towards the end of that world tournament. Because eventually he will become a very good T20 player, but it's something that he hasn't quite developed yet. He doesn't really have the variations needed as well in the control, the type of control you need in a T20 bowler. He's very much line and length and a swinging seam and hitting the bat hard, the splice of the bat. In India, that's not really going to go because the pitches are not as bouncy and he won't get as much purchase, so he'll just sit up and the pitches are flatter, so he'll get slapped as well. But let's see. It'll be interesting. So Tart says, Jimmy Neesham is the funniest in my opinion. His Twitter comments are full of humor. Exactly, they are, aren't they? He's a funny guy. I said, I checked out an interview with him on the Great Cricketer YouTube channel, and he seems like a funny guy, but a bit of dry humor in person. But he seems like he's got jokes, which is cool. Guys, well, thanks for joining. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help. Thank you very much. Fatak says, I think he'll get better, but what I really want to see is how he bowls because he is 6'8". Yeah, so he bowls well. Like he's got good attributes as just a bowler in general. He has a very good in-swinger. He can get the ball to seam away from the batsman as well. He actually can bowl slight away swinger as well. With the white ball, the issue that you all have, Srazak, is that the white ball won't do as much, although he's getting it to do a little bit here. But the conditions in India will mean that the pitch is going to be flat and he won't be as effective. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to perform very well, but we'll see. I could be wrong. But at the moment in T20s, he's struggling. He will become better, as you're saying. He will get better. But I think it's probably too soon to expect him to set the world alight. He's still, as I said, he's only been I reckon it's been like 6. He's been in international cricket for maybe 6 to 9 months. of which he's only played 6 Test matches, 2 ODIs, and 8 T20s. And on top of that, he's only played 34 first-class matches, 30 List A, and 42 T20s. So, yeah. So I wouldn't expect too much from him, but let's see. So someone says, yes, I checked out too. Grade cricket is fun. Yeah, it is. It's good fun, actually. Grade cricketers. I've emailed them. I'll probably never get a response because they're way too big at the moment. I need to get somewhere close to their level to get a response, I think, probably. But I emailed them and like pinged them on, I don't know, on some other social media outlets and to say, oh, it'd be nice to do a collab or like, nice to have you on and talk cricket, have a bit of a laugh and a joke. And I was like, hey, boys, how they say that, boys, for the hashtag ask, I can't say it as quickly as hashtag ask TGC. But he says it in such a way that doesn't sound like hashtag ask TGC. It sounds like something completely different. When I first started watching it, I was like, what is this guy on about? But yeah. Start says, I don't care how Carl does it. Even not a fan of RCB, fair enough. Oh, I just wanted to do well in general because he's a good talent, but yeah, I don't think I'll do particularly well this year. We'll see. I'm gonna go. So Dark, I'm gonna come off in a few minutes to go to bed. It's 11:30 here, so it's probably time to go to beddy buys. I'd love to do it until all night, but I will be back online, and as I said, to live stream England versus India, at least half the match, if not more. So either be the back end, the second half of the match, or a bit more. So I'll see. Depends on. I've got a few things I need to get done beforehand. If I get them done, quicker than anticipated, then might see me on at 3 p.m. UK time rather than 3:30. But I'll definitely be on at 3:30 UK GMT time. So everyone do stay tuned. Very good shot there from Mushfiqur Rahim. He's starting to get into the flow of things. I mean, he was struggling before. I think he was like 4 off 20 odd, no more than that. He was like 4 off 30 odd balls. 27 balls, I think it was actually. And now he's got a bit more sturdy for sure, has Mushfiqur Rahim. And he's trying to create a platform here in a partnership with Mutton. Okay, guys in the chat, thank you very much for joining. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And share it with all your mates. Should I go through this? Let's go. Come on. Share it with your friends, your siblings, your spouses, your grandparents, your cousins, friends, your aunties, your uncles, all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you very much to Tark, especially as well, for joining. You're the man as always. Bye, good night. He says, so Tark, are you not in India? Is it not like, you're in India, aren't you? Isn't it really early in India? Isn't it like 6 o'clock in the morning? 5 o'clock in the morning? Did you wake up to watch this? To watch the Bangladesh-New Zealand game? If so, that's damn commitment. That's what I'm going to say. Or good pull shot. That's good pull shot. Cool. Okay, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Satak, especially. See you guys on the next stream. See you tomorrow for England versus India. The deciding final T20 international, the 5th T20. Let's see how it goes. Star says, I'm saying good night to you. So I says, you know what? Well, go on quickly before I go. What's the time? Where you are, Satak? Are you in India, I thought? Or where are you? Are you in the US or something? Okay. Thank you very much. And yeah, speak to you guys soon.